Hello, my friend. You've carried enough today. The thoughts, the worries, the weight of tomorrow. You can set them down now. There is a train waiting for you. Not just any train. This one moves quietly through the border between night and memory, where time slows and the world grows gentle. Take a slow breath and let it go. Feel your body sinking deeper into rest. The rain is falling softly outside. The carriage is warm, and your seat is ready. Let's begin. The station is small and old, the kind of station that seems to have been forgotten by time. It sits at the edge of a sleepy little town, where the streets are cobblestone, and the lampposts are already beginning to glow softly in the fading light of the day. The platform is empty, except for you. The wooden planks beneath your feet are worn smooth by years of travelers coming and going. Hanging baskets of flowers, deep purple lobelia and trailing ivy, sway gently in the evening breeze. The air smells of rain and wood smoke and something sweet, like fresh pastries from a nearby bakery. The train itself is beautiful. It's an old steam train, lovingly restored, with polished brass fittings and a deep emerald green engine that gleams even in the low light. The carriages are painted a rich midnight blue with gold trim, and through the windows you can see warm yellow light spilling out, inviting you in. A conductor steps down from the first carriage. A man in a crisp navy uniform with silver buttons. He has kind eyes and a warm smile, and he tips his hat to you as you approach. Right on time, he says softly. We've been expecting you. Your seat is ready. He doesn't ask for a ticket. He simply opens the door and gestures for you to step aboard. You step up into the carriage, and the first thing you notice is how quiet it is inside. Not an empty silence, but a peaceful, cushioned quiet. The kind of quiet that wraps around you like a velvet blanket. The floor is carpeted in deep burgundy. The walls are paneled in dark wood. Small brass lamps on each table cast pools of soft golden light. There are plush armchairs instead of regular seats, each one big enough to curl up in, with cushions that look like clouds. You find your seat by the window. It's the perfect seat. The armchair welcomes you like an old friend. You sink into it, and immediately, a deep sense of comfort settles into your bones. Outside the window, The last colors of sunset are fading, rose and gold, giving way to a deep, velvety indigo. The train whistle sounds again, soft and low. The engine begins to hum, and with a gentle jolt, that's more like a rocking cradle than a movement, the train pulls away from the station. Click, clack. Click, clack, yeah. Click, clack. The rhythm is steady, aimed, and soothing. The wheels on the track create a heartbeat of their own. You watch the little town slide past your window, the glowing windows of cottages, the church steeple silhouetted against the evening sky, the last few birds settling into the trees. And then, slowly, the town gives way to open countryside, and the journey truly begins. The train glides on through the gathering darkness. The world outside your window has changed. The neat fields and hedgerows have melted away, and now the train is passing through a vast, open meadow that stretches as far as the eye can see. But this is no ordinary meadow. The grass here is long and silver-tipped, swaying in slow, hypnotic waves as the night wind moves through it. And scattered among the grass, in their thousands and thousands, are tiny flowers that glow with their own soft light. They are star flowers, each one a small, 5-petaled bloom that pulses with a gentle bioluminescence, like a fallen star that decided to take root in the earth. Some glow pale blue, others shimmer with a soft lavender or a warm honey gold. Together, they turn the entire meadow into a mirror of the night sky, a constellation spread across the ground. Instead of the heavens, you press your hand gently against the cool glass of the window, and as if responding to your presence, the star flowers near the tracks begin to glow just a little brighter. Their light ripples outward in slow, gentle waves, like a pond disturbed by a single pebble. Can you see it? This field of living stars, stretching away into the darkness, pulsing with a rhythm that seems to match your own breathing. In and out, in and out. The light swells and fades, swells and fades. Among the star flowers, small creatures move. They are too small and too quick to see clearly. But every now and then, you catch a glimpse of delicate, translucent wings catching the light. They might be moths, or fireflies, or something that has no name at all. They dance in spirals, leaving faint trails of light behind them, like tiny calligraphy in the air. The train slows down just a little as it passes through this meadow, as if it too wants to linger. The click-clack softens. The world becomes even quieter. You can almost hear the starflowers humming, a sound so faint it might just be your imagination. A hum that vibrates at the frequency of peace. Gradually, the meadow fades behind you, and the train enters a forest. This is an ancient forest, The trees here are impossibly tall, their trunks thick with moss and lichen, their branches intertwining overhead to form a canopy that arches over the train. Like the vaulted ceiling of a cathedral, the air is cool and damp and rich with the scent of wet earth, cedarwood, and something green and alive. It has just rained here. You can tell because the leaves are still dripping, each droplet catching the light from the train and sparkling like liquid diamonds before falling to the forest floor. The sound of water is everywhere. Drip, drop, drip, drop. A gentle, percussive music that blends perfectly with the rhythm of the train. And then you begin to notice the lights. At first, they are just faint glimmers between the trees, tiny specks of gold and green that flicker and dance. But as your eyes adjust, you realize that the forest is alive with them. They are wisps, small, floating orbs of soft light that drift lazily through the forest, bobbing and weaving between the trunks. Some are no bigger than a marble. Others are as large as your hand. They glow with a warm, internal light that pulses gently, like a heartbeat. One of them, a little golden one, drifts close to your window. It hovers just on the other side of the glass, as if curious about you. It tilts slightly, like a tiny head, and for a moment, you feel a strange and beautiful connection, as if this little light has recognized something in you, as if it is saying, without words, "Welcome. You are safe here." The little wisp stays with you for a while, keeping pace with the train. Then, with a final, gentle pulse of light, it drifts away and rejoins its companions among the trees. The rain begins to fall again, very softly. You hear it on the roof of the carriage, a gentle patter that adds another layer to the symphony of the forest. The wisps continue their silent dance in the rain, undisturbed, their light reflecting off every wet leaf and every glistening fern. The forest begins to thin out, and suddenly, the train emerges into a wide, open space. On one side, the ancient trees continue. But on the other side, there is a lake. A lake so still and so perfectly calm that it is almost indistinguishable from the sky above it. The train tracks run along the very edge of the water, so close that you feel as if you are floating. And as you look out across the lake, you see something that takes your breath away. Not with surprise, but with a quiet, profound wonder. The sky is ablaze with stars, millions upon millions of them. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a river of diamond dust, so bright and so clear that you can see every shade of blue and purple and silver white. And the lake reflects every single one of those stars perfectly. The water is a flawless mirror. Up and down, lose their meaning. You are no longer sure where the sky ends and the water begins. The stars are above you. The stars are below you. You are suspended in the middle of the universe, cradled in a cocoon of light. The train moves silently along the tracks, and it feels less like traveling and more like drifting through space. Far out on the lake, something moves. A ripple spreads slowly across the surface of the water, disturbing the reflected stars for just a moment. Then another ripple, and another, and then you see them. Swans. A pair of them, gliding across the lake, with their heads held high, and their white feathers glowing in the starlight. They move without a sound, their reflections following them like faithful shadows. They do not seem to notice the train. They are in their own world, a world of silent grace and effortless beauty. You watch the swans until they disappear into a bank of soft mist that hovers at the far end of the lake. The mist glows faintly, as if it has captured some of the starlight within itself. And still, the train rolls on. The wheels hum their low, steady song. The window is cool against your skin. And the stars, above and below, seem to be singing a silent lullaby, just for you. A soft mist begins to gather outside the window. It rolls in slowly, like a gentle tide, wrapping around the train in wisps and curls of white and silver gray. The stars fade from view. The lake disappears. For a moment, the train seems to be traveling through clouds. But you are not afraid. The mist feels soft and protective, like a blanket being pulled up around your shoulders. It muffles the sounds of the train just slightly, making everything even more hushed, even more intimate. And then, the mist begins to thin. The sky outside your window begins to lighten. The deep black of night transitions slowly into a soft pearl gray, then to pale lavender, then to the faintest blush of rose. Dawn is coming. The train is crossing a bridge now. A high, elegant stone bridge that arches over a wide, slow-moving river. Below, the water is dark and smooth, reflecting the changing colors of the sky. Mist clings to the surface of the river, swirling gently in the early morning breeze. And there, on the horizon, the first golden edge of the sun appears. It rises slowly, majestically, spilling its warm light across the landscape. The mist turns to gold. The river turns to gold. The entire world is gilded and glowing. The train begins to slow. The click-clack of the wheels becomes gentler, more spaced out. You can see a small station ahead, nestled among green hills. It looks very much like the station where you began. Old and beautiful. And waiting. But you are not there yet. For now, you are still on the bridge, still wrapped in the golden mist of dawn, still carried by the gentle burginkas rocking rhythm of the train. And so, my dear friend, as the train carries you slowly toward the golden horizon, I invite you to let yourself drift even deeper. Feel the rhythm of the wheels beneath you. Hear the soft whisper of the mist outside the window. Let the warmth of the new sun touch your face, even if only in your imagination. The train will keep going. It will always keep going. But you can rest now. You can let your breathing slow. You can let your eyelids grow heavy. You can let the gentle rocking of the carriage carry you all the way into the deepest, most peaceful sleep you have ever known. Click, clack. Click, clack. Click, clack. The rhythm is your lullaby. The journey is yours. And wherever you are going, there is no rush. There is only this moment. This quiet, this peace. The mist is soft around you now. The stars are still there, hidden behind the golden light of morning. The star flowers have closed their petals and settled into the earth. The wisps have faded into the forest. The swans are resting on the shore. All is well. All is calm. All is exactly as it should be. So sleep now. Sleep deeply. Sleep with the quiet knowledge that you are safe, you are cared for, and you are exactly where you need to be. Good night. Sleep well. I'll be here when you wake.